Hi there, David here from daviddumaisaudio.com, and in this video, I'll be doing a redesign of the Cyngas gun reload sound effect that I created in one of my YouTube Shorts video. So in this video, I'm actually going to do a full breakdown, a full layer by layer breakdown of each sound and how I created it and how I processed it and all of that. And this was actually a request from one of the viewers who left a comment on the video. So if there's ever any other YouTube Shorts or other videos where you want me to go more in depth in the sound designs that I do, just let me know and I'll probably make a video like this one. So yeah, so what I'm going to do in this video, like I said, I'm going to go layer by layer, all the processing, everything that I did, so that you hopefully can get a little look over my shoulder of how I create my sound effects so that you can learn to do them for yourself. All right, before we jump in though, if you're new here, like I said, my name is David and I am a sound designer. I like to create sound effects. And if you are also a sound designer, I have a little gift for you. It's my 5 layering techniques guide. It's a little PDF guide I put together of 5 different layering techniques that I use in my work and that I've learned from other professional sound designers that they use when they're creating sound effects. So if you want to grab that, it'll be free and links will be in the description below. All right, let's get into our project. All right, so here we are inside of Reaper. And what I'd like to do is first play you the original from the gameplay that I have here. And then I'll play you my redesign and then we'll kind of go from there. So here we go. This is going to be the original game audio. All right, now let's have a listen to the redesign that I created. And there it is. So, yeah, so now what I'd like to do is I'll quickly show you over my session here. It's pretty small, so it'll be quick, and then we'll go layer by layer and see how I did it. So here you can see my session. I have only like, what is this, like 9 or 10 layers, and that's pretty much it. So a lot of this session actually was me just dragging sounds that I had already created. So probably what I'm going to do for much of this video is actually point you to other videos where I talk about how I created all of these sounds. So I'll make sure to reference them and either put them in the description or in the cards in the top right above for each of these. So all right, let's start. Why don't we start at the beginning? Instead of going up like from top to bottom, I'll start with the sounds as they progress. So here we go. So here I started, I think it was a riser here. And this is just a little power up that I created. And then I just, I don't even think I processed it at all. I just kind of dropped it in there and that's it. So yeah, there's absolutely no processing on it. And that I just kind of dropped it in as is. And I think this is kind of just to imitate what they had in the original here. No, not even. It's kind of different. It's just my own touch to things that I added on here. So anyways, so this is one of a few power-ups. I know there's another power-up here. But anyways, like I said, I'll put a link up above in the cards for how to create these power-up sounds. I did a little video about that. So all right, next sound here. Again, this is a power down sound. So it's similar to your power up sounds, but except the pitch going up, everything's kind of going down. And again, this is just a design sound. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the way I created this was using a sampler. And I would import like these really long samples, and then I would start modulating things down. So the pitch would go down, and then I would maybe increase some like tremolo effects and other things like that as it would go down. So I think that's how I created these. But again, I'll put a link for the videos if you want to learn more about that. So yeah, don't have too much to say about these two. So let's just have a listen again. Yeah, and also maybe I should just say like these two sounds are a lot of these sounds, not all of them, but a lot of these sounds are sounds that are in my newest sound pack release, Sci-Fi Weapons Pack 1, I think it was. So you can find a lot of these sounds in there if you're interested. I'll put a link for that if you are interested in getting it. All right, here I have another sound. This is like the first mech sound that you hear, and it's the big kind of explosion sound right when the gun reloads. And you'll notice it's actually a very dry sound. Like there's not a lot of reverb or room, but yeah, it has that big punch and impact in it. Again, if you want to learn more about like how I created like these mechanical sounds and mechanical reload sounds, I'll put a link. I made a video about that as well. So yeah, so again, I just kind of dropped that in here. Thought it sounded really cool. And then the thing that was missing though is the space. So if you would listen to like the original here. it almost sounds like it's like a shotgun shot in like in a big field or something like that. Like you get a big reverb sound, like a big sound that like echoing. So I wanted to kind of imitate that, and the way I did that is with this layer down here. So with this layer, it's a weapon explosion sound that I created, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the way I created this is I just had a bunch of impact sounds, and then I would kind of like put it through reverb and distortion, and then that's how I would come up with this. So let's just listen to it here. So you can hear it like really ringing out, and there's a lot of reverb tail for the sound. So I'm actually going to take off the two plugins I had on here so we can just hear it as it is here. And I did do a bit of processing, if I'm not mistaken, on this one. Yeah, so I did do some processing here. So the first thing I did, of course, track spacer. This is just to blend it in with this mechanical layer. Yeah, so that's what that's doing here, because I just wanted to make sure that this mechanical layer was always heard, because it's the most important layer. This layer was more to be a reverb layer, so it kind of, I wanted it to sit in the back a little bit more. So that's why track spacer is on there. For uber loud though, what I did with this, I'll bring it up right here, and I wanted to push the sound kind of in and out. So as you'll hear, you'll see it modulating. It's kind of going to go up and then like slowly fade out. It's accentuating the hit, the impact, and then it kind of, you get the tail kind of slowly dying off with it. So together. And if I take it off, like you only really start to hear and notice the reverb right like around here when the mech sound ends. But with uber loud on now, it helps to fill it out more, and it's more present. It's a little bit subtle. I found it helped a little bit, but that's what that is doing there. Yeah. So next after that, why don't we go, actually before I go into all these like little mech reload stuff, I'm gonna go here. Down here. So this is another power-up sound I had for the end. And for here, I had quite a bit of processing going on, so a lot of automation, all inside of one plugin, which is M-Transformer. This one's really nice. It's a lot of fun for sci-fi stuff. If you just want to pitch stuff around, it's really easy to do. So I'm basically pitch shifting a few things, or modulating a few items here. So first one is the frequency shift. You'll see they're all kind of doing the same thing. They're all just kind of going up over time. So frequency shifting, which is right here, you'll see it go up. The format shift is going to go up. The only thing I'm putting down is the volume, because I found it was a little bit too loud as it was getting higher and higher. So I was bringing the volume down over time. So let's have a listen to that. And now I'm just going to turn it off, A/B it. Let's have a listen. So again, it's very subtle. It's just more of a balancing item, something to really blend with all the other effects. So that's what this plugin is doing here. Because on its own, it does sound fine with it. Like it doesn't need transformer, but with everything else, just to balance out the sounds and everything, it makes it nicer. All right, so here I am going to go over these one by one. So these are different reload sounds. So let's have a listen to these. All right, so this is like mechanical reload sounds. If you want to see, I did a whole video about that, so I'll link it up again in the cards above. And I didn't do much processing, just manipulator. So this is the original sound, which sounds cool. It sounds good. It's a little bit too high pitch and too high pitch, too tingy, I guess. So what I did is I brought down the format a little bit, harmonics all the way down, and the alternator a little bit up. So alternator helps to give it like that sci-fi kind of sound. So here, I'll play it without, and then I'll play it with everything on, and then we'll turn off the alternator. So it's a very clean sound without the alternator on. With it on, it kind of bubbles up the sound a little bit, which kind of gives it a sci-fi texture. right? So it kind of just muddies up the sound a little bit, but in a good way. So that's what that's doing there. All right, so that helped to give a bit more weight to the reload, just because it's a bigger gun. I didn't want it to be too bright and stuff, so that's what that's doing there. All right, next down here, I have a lot more reload sounds, so let's have a list of these. So this first one, let's take off everything here. Let's have a listen to it on its own. Sounds fine. So I really wanted to add weight to it. So the way I did that for this one is I added a subsynth, and I'm basically putting the subharmonics to 100% for 56 to 80. So you'll see here it's at 100%, and then the subharmonics here is at 100%. So that's what that is doing there. And then at for Spectre, added a bit of saturation around 100. And so let's take these off and then have a listen here. All right, so just helping to bring out the lows a little bit. Track spacer, of course, here is just to balance out, to blend it with these other layers. I don't remember which one is going in there. I could probably check through here. 16. Yeah, I'm actually not even using this one, so this one could be off right now because it's not even in use. All right, let's go to the next one here. This is another one. Again, using manipulator here. Just to make it a bit deeper. And it also, manipulator just is really great for adding any kind of sci-fi feel to any sound. So yeah, just brought down the format a little bit. Again, alternator up to around 11. And that's pretty much it for this one. The last one here. This is like your locking sound. And what did I use here? A bit of frequency shifting, or frequency shaping, sorry. So M-Transformer, this is a module that I like to use often to change up the frequency of a sound. So if I take this off, that's the original sound, and then with it on, it just makes it a little bit brighter and not as clean, you know? So it gives it, I found it gave it a bit more of a sci-fi feel. So all three of these together now. So it's just a really big, thick, like reload sound. And that's pretty much it. So it's a kind of a simple redesign in that, like, I didn't spend a lot of time designing individual like sounds because a lot of them were already pre-designed, and I kind of just dragged them and dropped them into, and they were already ready to go. So it's a pretty quick design. But yeah, this is how I created this sound design. So let's have a listen to it one more time here. And there you go. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you liked it and found it useful and valuable, and hopefully learned a little bit just by looking over my shoulder and seeing how I just dragged and dropped sounds in here, how I layered them and processed them a little bit. And hopefully, yeah, you got some value out of that. So if you have any questions about it, leave them down in the comments below. I always do my best to answer them. And if there's other videos or things that you want me to go more in depth in from either other videos, or if you have some suggestions for new videos that you would like help with or you would like me to do, just let me know. I might always just pick it up, and who knows, maybe I'll do a video for you. So anyways, yeah, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. And just a reminder to grab that free 5 layering techniques guide, links in the description. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.